The Joe Rogan podcast made its long-anticipated debut on streaming platform Spotify today. Joe Rogan sold his empire to Spotify for over $100 million, stating that it would not have any creative control over the show. That was essentially the big brand promise for the relaunch. Now today, on the very first day of the launch, people quickly noticed that there's been nearly 50 episodes of the Joe Rogan podcast omitted from the streaming service, completely removed and unavailable. Now, there was a full list posted of the episodes that were unavailable on Reddit, and for some reason it was removed by the moderators of the Spotify subreddit. That's quite odd to me, I will admit it, but I do have a screen cap of parts of this list, so you can see David Seaman, Brian Dunning, Eddie Bravo, Joey Diaz. I mean, come on. And the list goes on and on. Freddie Lockhart was omitted. Tommy Chong was omitted. Nick Kroll was omitted. So there's a lot of people, and most of these news articles have been trying to make it seem like it's only far right sort of fringe conspiracy people. I mean, you look at this article from Yahoo News. It says dozens of episodes with controversial guests are notably absent, including conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, far right figures such as Owen Benjamin, Stéphane Molyneux, and Milo Yiannopoulos. So it's sort of being framed as it's an anti-right-wing thing. But when you really look at the full list of episodes that have been censored from Spotify, it has nothing to do really with right-wing or left-wing. There's episodes with comedians. There's episodes with far left-wing people. I would think it's fair to say that Tommy Chong is very far left. He's vocally anti-Trump. He's vocally anti-government and, very pro-drug, obviously pro-marijuana. It goes without saying. So it doesn't seem to me to be particularly only rooted in a political thing. It seems to be more that it's almost an attack on freedom of speech in some way. Now, I'm not saying it's an attack on freedom of speech by Joe Rogan. Joe hasn't come out and talked about it yet. The one thing I would think it's safe to assume is that this didn't just come out missing 50 episodes and Joe didn't know what was going to happen. I think it's pretty safe to assume that this was discussed with Joe, and there is a reason why these are being removed, and I think that the reason will come out very shortly. One of the reasons that was floating around in my mind is that before episode 1000, Joe would often pull up things from YouTube and pull up different copywritten songs and music clips that he later said he had to stop doing. The famous kicked off YouTube, we're going to get kicked off YouTube. So one of my theories is that maybe these episodes contain content that was copywritten and the deal was not to censor full episodes. So in that case, they were going to just not release it. But again, that I don't know if that exactly adds up. That's just a theory. Maybe it was an issue with copywritten material. The other theory is that maybe Joe himself just didn't like these episodes. Maybe he didn't like the way they came out. Maybe he's looking to take a different direction and sort of be more apolitical. So that is an option. The only issue with that is that Joe said that there would be no creative control and essentially no change whatsoever in the direction of the show creatively upon moving to Spotify. The thing with that message that Joe made, though, coming on and announcing that he was going and saying that he was going to retain creative control, that you can trust that about as much as you can trust a presidential address of any kind. I mean, Joe's going up there. He's just been paid about, in my estimation, minimum $200 million. And he's in a business partnership with Spotify, and he's making a business video. So the best business decision at the time was probably to say, hey, we're going to have the exact same show. Nothing's going to change. And then change some things and deal with it later. Listen, when you get into multi-million dollar deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars, you become a corporate person. You become a corporate figure. You become sort of a corporate entity. Joe Rogan at this point is a corporate entity. Joe Rogan is an LLC, a trademark, and a business. That's what Joe Rogan is. He's also a human being, a father, etc. But in a business sense, in a podcast sense, when he's going to come on and address us, in my opinion, it's a businessman. And what he says is for business purposes. So this is very strange to me. Some of these episodes, there's no explanation why they're removed, such as the one with Brian Redban and Freddie Lockhart. So again, that leads me to think maybe they were goofing on a movie scene like they often did, or playing a song that Rogan liked, and they had to just completely remove it. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm very curious to see what Rogan has to say about this, if anything. If this is something that's being done by Spotify, I'm personally very concerned. I've personally been finding it hard to find things on YouTube lately. I've been finding it harder to find articles. of any form of opposing opinion from any sort of official narrative. So it doesn't just stop there. So when YouTube starts removing things, as they have also, making it harder to find things, when episodes of podcasts are being omitted, when tweets are being censored, it doesn't stop there. Because it didn't stop with the tweets, it didn't stop with it, it just continues to grow. So I'm very concerned, I gotta say, because I've always wanted to be able to go and move into this space in the future and become potentially an entity myself, not giving up my honesty, but to become well established and big in this space. And I'm not interested in doing that if I can't speak my mind and have people come on and speak their mind, whether or not everybody is told that they should agree with it. So I have a big problem with that. So I'm opening my eyes to other pathways, potentially in entertainment, if they're going to be censoring people like this. But all in all, still very interesting to see what's going to happen.